Everything you need to know about the Vigo Dem Party. So sit back, relax, and watch from anywhere. Get ready for a chat with a chair.
I'm Joe Etling, Chair of the Vigo County Democratic Central Committee, and welcome to the award-winning Chat with the Chair. We're delighted you could join us. Sit back and enjoy. Hope everybody's having a great week and a great evening. We got an awesome show tonight. I'm not going to take up any more time. I'm going to get right to our two lovely guests here. Tell our viewers who you are.
Rob Hayworth, Superintendent, Vigo County Schools.
Welcome.
And Lori Danielson, Chair of the Vote Yes for Vigo County Schools.
Now, Dr. Hayworth, I'm going to have you give a little background, but I first got to point out, now that of all the high schools and schools we got, you're wearing Terre Haute North. You're supporting the Patriots here this evening, so talk to us about how it is that we're supporting the Patriots tonight.
Well, it's basketball season.
Okay.
We're all Hoosiers.
Very good.
And so we're celebrating their success throughout the basketball tournament.
Excellent.
If we would still have more teams, I would be wearing a multitude of
I see you wearing a multitude of, so I just wondered why we're Terre Haute North tonight, but that's good, so that explains it. So tell our viewers a little about your background, though, Dr. Hayworth.
Yeah, I've been in the school business since 1988, first as a government economics teacher, and then moved into school leadership around 2000, and have spent most of my career in northern Indiana before coming here. I do have some ties to southern Indiana. I coached basketball at French Lick and then became their superintendent there before heading north. So I love my basketball, love my career in education, and I love being here in Terre Haute.
Now, you skimmed over a little bit there quickly about your own background education-wise, so where did you go to high school?
Yeah, I'm a graduate of Paola Junior Senior High School, so if you think about
home of the
Rams.
The Rams?
Yeah.
We're big into mascots here, Dr. Hayward, just so you know, okay?
So it actually started off as the Ramblers, and then became the Rams because we could not describe what a Rambler was. So we went to the Rams probably in the 1960s. So,
nice.
But graduated a Ram, went to Greenville College in Southern Illinois, where I was a Panther.
Nice.
I got my master's at IU, where I was a Hoosier, and then got my doctorate here as a Sycamore. So.
I'm hoping that your co-guest here picked up on how well you did with the mascots. You're getting an A+ on mascots this evening. We are, as I said, here on the chat, we are very fond, a lot of affinity towards the mascots, so you nailed it, and I just want to thank you.
Can I give you one more?
Absolutely.
I coached for the Northeast DuBois Jeeps, and our host tonight will buy you a dinner if you can tell him what a Jeep is. So when you see him next Thursday,
is that right?
First one up, Joe will buy you a dinner.
There you have it. Absolutely. So the first time we've had the Jeep mascot. We've had some Panthers and others that you've mentioned, but the Jeep, that is unique to you, Dr. Hayward, so we appreciate you sharing that with us.
Glad to be the first.
Yeah, absolutely. So who's the young lady here with you?
This is Lori Danielson.
So Lori, tell our viewers who you are.
Well, Lori Danielson, and I have been a resident of Vigo County for almost 3 decades now.
Wow.
Went from being a Hawkeye to a Hoosier, so my roots are back in Fairfield, Iowa.
Yes.
I was born and raised there, where I was a Trojanette.
Nice.
And a basketball player, and sometime I'll tell you all about 6x6 half-court 2 dribble basketball. And,
so the story going around from my crack crew here is that you were quite an accomplished basketball player back in the day. Is there any truth to that?
Well, I think that's probably a whole nother segment.
Oh, well, we have to.
Some time on that.
Well, we may have to devote a whole chat with you then on that topic.
Right. There you go.
So what drew you from Iowa, the lovely Iowa, to Indiana?
Yeah, well, I was living in Des Moines at the time, and I ran into somebody I went to preschool with, and Mr. Steve Danielson, and
is that right?
Now my lovely husband and better half. And we reconnected when we were 27 after we went to grade school together, and he was living here. He was a general manager at Signature Inn. He graduated, was a Hoosier for a stint, and then graduated as a Sycamore and was a Brave when he was in high school. So sticking with the
It's like a fairy tale story there you have.
Well, we'll start working on that part.
Oh, yeah? Awesome family, and you got great children. So, any other background you'd like to share with our viewers about yourself?
A small business owner here. Spent 25 years in banking with what was Merchants Bank and Old National Bank, and 8 years with Clabber Girls, so before I went off my own. So doing a lot of spending time getting to know small business, the world of small business.
Well, Dr. Hayworth, there's an awful lot going on with education at the school corporation. We're here talking about a big issue that's coming up on the ballot in May. So tell our viewers what's going on here.
Well, I mean, this has been a journey that's really probably started before I got here 4 years ago, and that's a discussion about our high schools. And I think the question had really partially been answered before I even got here, and that was we have to do something with our high schools. Our students deserve better, our teachers deserve better, and our community deserves better. And so 2 years ago, we really started a serious conversation about what that might look like. And so we went out, did a series of community meetings, we did a lot of online polling, which really landed us with 8 different models, 8 different approaches to what do we really want to do to address the condition of the high school. That took us about a year. Then we did another year of taking those 8 and narrowing that down to 3. And this past January, our school board decided on an approach that we're taking to the voters on May 3rd. And that approach is a $260 million project that would be a combination of new and renovation to the 3 existing buildings. So think about 60% new and then 40% down to the stud renovation to where you would walk into the building and not recognize it as north, south, and west. It would be a totally new building to us. But this approach that the board took, it's interesting. This approach not only addresses the high schools, but allows us the opportunity to do something that we've been doing the last 4 years, and that's doing under the cap projects, so it doesn't raise the taxes for roofing projects, for paving projects, for heating and cooling projects. And so it allows us, yes, on May 3rd, really allows us to create this long-term building construction project that allows us not to be in this same situation 20, 30 years from now.
Dr. Hayworth, you've been in education, as you indicated, for a long time and been at other places and seen how other things operate other places. How important is this, do you think, for Vigo County and the students in Vigo County in particular, this particular undertaking?
We have excellent teachers, accomplished teachers, caring teachers that I believe have to rise above the facility in order to deliver a lesson plan. That shouldn't be the case. Our students should be able to walk into a classroom and have an expectation of heating and cooling. They should have an expectation of plumbing working, is the roof not leaking, modern facilities that fit 21st century learning styles. And so I think if you think about the end user, that student, it's giving them a location and a space that will help them graduate and go on and be productive citizens here in Terre Haute. But it also arms that teacher in a way that I don't think they've been armed in quite a while. And that's with modern technology, modern equipment, those things that will allow them to excel beyond just high school graduation, but excel into the future. And we hope that they stay here and finish years 13, 14, 15, and 16 right here in this county as well.
Now, you yourself personally, I know your administrative team have worked awful hard on identifying a lot of these issues and reaching out to the community. How has the community responded to those information meetings, those sessions with regard to the particular issues and projects that are being considered?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Prior to COVID, we had some great momentum. The reality is that we got out of meeting in person. And so when we came back and started to do those in-person meetings, we did not see the success that we had early on. So we just changed our game plan, and so we started to do more online. And that's where we've been able to come back and to touch a significant amount of our community. And just like you stream, now we stream our meetings. We've been streaming community meetings. And so we've adjusted our game plan to where that modern community meeting is. And it's just not in our cafeterias and gyms, it's online as well. But I think over the last 2 years, we've done over 90 community meetings and presentations.
I just could comment on that. Just as a resident, small business owner, the time commitment that the school corporation has taken to get input from our community is incredible. And people have been able to have a voice into this process, and that's not easy. But what it has allowed the school corporation to do and the board of directors to do is know that when they voted in January to move the final option forward, that option had been vetted, had been reviewed, and knew that there was support going into this. And I just think that's very admirable to take the time and the effort to get community input like that.
Now, of course, you're well known throughout the community from your business background as well as the many civic organizations that you have been so involved in. Talk about your role and how it came to pass that you became in the capacity as the chair. So we've got chair to chair here this evening, but talk about how it was that we got you in this capacity.
Yeah. You know, part of my giving, I care a lot about the community, but I believe that education is the pathway to success for whatever success looks like for each individual, for businesses. And so my involvement, whether it's been with Ivy Tech or the Education Foundation for over a decade, really I've just been drawn to lifting up, supporting education, and was involved and met Dr. Hayworth when he came on board through the Education Foundation, my work there. Really have been inspired by his vision and the tough work that needs to get done, and his continued vigilance and engaging of the community to be a part of that. And just through that work, I've said this, you've heard me say it several times, never thought I would be the chair of a political action committee, and I'm going to keep saying that, even though I am so excited to be, and that I was invited to be a part of this, because I just see this is about community. We will have an elevated educational platform for all of our students, which is a generational decision. It's a game-changing decision for our community. But it's just something that's so important that I've just been really drawn to support it, to get engaged with it. And my number one hope is that when voters go to the poll on May 3rd, that they're informed, that they understand what the question is, they understand what their choice is on both sides of that decision that they get to make. And if we have informed people correctly, I think they will understand that this is the right time and it's the right choice for us to vote yes on May 3rd.
So we've got some informed viewers with this chat, and you might find that hard to believe. They continue to tune in to see the chat, but notwithstanding that, what issue then, and what do we want to direct them regarding this particular question and this issue for the May primary?
I'll start and then you please add. I think one of the most important things to understand personally is, what does it mean to you as a voter, as a property holder? We have access to resources that you can quickly understand, putting your assessed value of your home into a tax calculator.
So how do we go about accessing that information?
We've got a couple places.
All right.
It's been available on the school corporation website.
So it's available on our corporation website, but it's also available on our PAC website as well.
So give our viewers that, and we'll make sure we stream that across the screen here as well. We're very sophisticated here, by the way.
Well, for us, it's the Vigo County Schools website.
Okay.
So vigoschools.com. We may need to cut there so I can check.
Okay.
Org.
Yeah, it
Okay.
might be org. So.
Okay.
And then the PAC website is voteyesforvigocountyschools.com.
So if we go on that, if we direct them there, when they get there, what are they going to be looking for, Lori?
They'll see information on why this is important, why now, how they can evaluate their tax impact, and I like to look at that as an investment. And the average homeowner is going to pay somewhere around $8 to $9 a month more as an investment into updating our school environment. They'll see where they can donate, how they can volunteer. We have over 150 volunteers now, people that are excited to help inform our community so that we can make that right choice.
So for our viewers, then, they can anticipate when they go to vote in May at the primary that question is going to appear on the ballot. And that will be at the top of the ballot. And,
It will be.
and we can provide that. We'll make sure we provide that as part of our insert here during our show so that the viewers can see the question. So anything with regard to the question that you'd like to state to our viewership about the particular question?
Yeah, so what will jump out is a couple of things. One, the beginning of the question is, do you want your property taxes to increase?
Now tell our viewers why it is that it's phrased in that fashion.
That's a great question, Chair. It is designed not by us locally. It is a formula that's established in Indianapolis, and we have very little control over how the question is written or how it is designed. If so, we would not lead with those
Sure.
words. We would talk about its impact to community, its impact to family, its impact to students. So we're not allowed to design the question. So it would start off that. And so if you do your research, look in to see what it personally means to you, so you know that, yeah, we're saying it's an increase, but what does it really mean to you? There's another piece that talks about 55%. And if you would look at that, you might think, oh my gosh, my taxes are going to raise 55%, which is not the case. You might think all my taxes are going to increase 55%, or you might even think my own school tax is going to increase 55%. You know, what's true is our tax rate has consistently been around $1 per $100 of assessed valuation. And so if you live in the city, that $1 probably represents about a quarter of your overall tax rate. If you live out in the country, it could be up to half of your overall tax rate. So when you think about that 55%, what they did, they took every township that we have in the county, and you got to remember we're a county school system, and they created an average among all of those different townships and all of those different taxing entities. So that's why we're asking voters to go to the tax calculator, see what that really means to you. Yes, it's an increase in your taxes, but it's not a 55% increase in your taxes. So we're asking them to do that research so that they go in, they're informed, and they know what it's for. Again, we didn't author the question. We couldn't assist in that. We do have some language in regards to updated facilities, meeting the needs of our students. But to me, beyond just the educational aspect, it's about attraction and retention of people to our community. It's about retaining those that live here and giving them points of pride within the district or within the county. And it's about those that are shopping for a place to live and being able to address that, not just by the curb appeal of what these facilities would look like, but again, strengthening the tools that the educators have inside those facilities as well. You can't put that in a question.
So Lori, that would be the lead-in for people to check the calculator. That a couple different places they can go to do that. Sounds like an excellent place to start. After they've done that, what would you recommend to our viewers with regard to where they go from there and what they consider in deciding how to go on the question?
You know, I think we need to look at our community. We need to look back, and I'm reminded 10 years or so ago, one of our local large employers wanted to expand their engineering group. They had 20 engineers, they wanted to go to 75. Guess where those engineers reside now? They're in Indianapolis. So we need to look at our community as a whole. When I say this is a community opportunity, it is a way. Education is at the center and the core of us being able, as a community, to grow. So So if we look back at some of our struggles and some of our challenges, we need to say, what are some of the answers going forward? And improving our educational system, being able to build a structure that has a connection to further career and technical skill building in a space that accommodates that, and then connecting that space and skills of that future worker to businesses in our community. So looking at the opportunities long-term in this decision and envision what our community could look like when we begin to grow and attract new families and new businesses that want to come here because we have an improved educational system. So I would look at the facts of the question, I would look at what it means to you and understand that, and then look at the possibilities for our community and some of the struggles we've had in education and improving that and enhancing that, because we do a wonderful job inside the facilities. These facilities were built in 1970. They need upgraded, and we need a better platform for our students and teachers to work.
So considering all that, you've got the floor here. What are we going to recommend to our viewers with regard to that question?
Vote yes on May 3rd. Ask your family, anybody that's not registered to vote, you need to register to vote. Vote yes, go help with signs in your neighborhood and help people get informed. Make sure that they're aware that this question will be on the ballot.
So for our viewers and voters, the question will allow yes or no.
Yep.
And after considering everything, what you've seen, your recommendation would be vote yes.
Vote yes.
Now, in full disclosure, of course, you've got excellent children, awesome children, excelled academic, athletically, but as it is, you have no children in the school corporation at this point.
Correct.
So what is your motivation then?
It's all about the community. It's about the community has given us great fortune. We have possibilities as a community to do more. At the heart of this community is outstanding. We have great people and great possibilities. And while I'm here, I believe in do what you can with the gifts that you have, but leave places better than where you found them. So if we can have a little impact on that, I'm all in.
Dr. Hayworth, I assume you're voting yes then on this question.
I'm voting yes, and I think my household is voting yes. But Lori's exactly right. It's become informed, share what you've learned, talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors. I think this does have the opportunity to accelerate population growth within Vigo County. But you ask an interesting question to Lori that I'd like to take a shot at, and that is education is a pay-it-forward business. You know, you think about the history of Vigo County before consolidation, and you think about every township having a high school. Somebody supported those high schools that did not have children in school at that time. You think about when we moved to consolidation, and yes, North and South, 1970s, but you have West Vigo, 1961. Somebody supported and paid that forward when they did not have children in school. And so when you think about this investment, it's just not an investment in the subject matter that we're teaching. It's a pay it forward in the type of neighbors that we want to have. The type of character we want our children to leave their 13 years of education. And we believe that it's not all about the facilities, but it's arming our teachers with the tools that they need to create those academic successes, but also create those core value that we all think about: respect, responsibility, integrity, that we know every teacher, every staff member, every coach is working on daily besides just the content areas.
So Lori, I know how busy you already are, so you've picked up more assignments here between now and the primary. So what can our viewers do to help to get this yes answer out there to the public?
Yep, I would encourage everybody to go to Vote Yes for VigoCountySchools.com. If you'd like to volunteer, we have people writing thank you notes. We have people walking neighborhoods, making calls, donating. So in terms of get involved, get informed, and go to the website and learn more and share that broadly.
And that would be the best place to go, is go to the website to do that?
Yep. Or you can call Lori Danielson. You can email Lori Danielson at
Tell them how to get hold of you.
Lori Danielson at gmail.com, and call me at 812-241-7718. I'll have my phone dialing over to Joe.
Absolutely.
Chair.
I would say this, that we'll be on the community circuit. So we'll be at civic organizations, we'll be at local businesses that have invited us in to give presentations to either their members or to their employees, and would welcome those type of opportunities, anything from small coffees to large presentations.
So it'll be working like this. So Thursday, the Democrats are meeting at AMVETS. Could we invite you to come out and address the crowd there?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be wearing green.
There we
It
have
will
it.
also be West Vigo.
West Vigo.
Very nice. So there we have it. So we want to encourage you to come out to see Dr. Hayworth and Lori and ask them some questions and hear their presentation. And if you've got an organization out there that they could come and speak to, I would think they'd be happy to do that. So I would encourage you to do that. So make sure you come out Thursday night, 5:30, AMVETS. Wear your green, and West Vigo green would be more than welcome over that side of the river, so we'd love to have you. Lori, any last thoughts for our viewers regarding this issue in particular?
Yeah, just nothing to just get involved, get informed. As Dr. Hayworth said, if you have small groups, businesses, we'd like to share information as broadly as we can, and envision what the community could look like and possibilities 20, 30 years from now, because that decision that we have on May 3rd is a generational decision. It's challenging times right now. It's not easy. But certainly have economic cycles that trend highs and lows in the next 20 years, and I think we will weather the challenging times in the next 20 years and leverage the opportunity times that we will have in the next 20 years if we have an educational platform that's stronger than it is today. So,
You got a great team yourself working with you, I think, as well.
yeah, absolutely. 150 volunteers right now that have signed up, and
That's
we would
awesome.
love to have more people support.
That's awesome. I know we've got some great people working with you. Dr. Hayworth, you got the final word here.
Well, it's been nice to chat with the chair, but we look forward to chatting with the entire community
Absolutely.
and trying to get this word out. It's an important opportunity for our entire community on May 3rd, and we're asking them to say yes.
I did say you had the last word, but I guess I'm going to have to hit Lori with the toughest question of the night. Lori, what do you think of the Blazer?
I love the Blazers. Yep,
There you have it.
there you go.
It's been another successful chat with the chair, Dr. Hayworth, Lori Danielson.
Thank
It has
you.
been a
Appreciate it.
pleasure to visit with you and to have you come in
Thank
to
you.
chat. You're always welcome back here at the award-winning Chat with the Chair. We appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you vote yes on public question with regard to the primary ballot. And we didn't point this out, whether you're taking a Republican or Democrat ballot, it's on there.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's a bipartisan question, and it's a bipartisan yes. So I'm Joe Etling, Chat with the Chair. Thank you for joining us. Everybody be safe. God bless you all.
VMOCRATIC. Everything you need to know about the Vigo Dem Party. So sit back, relax, and watch from anywhere.